Hello everyone, and welcome to the New Player's Guide to Free-to-Play for Legends of Runeterra. Now, this game is extremely free-to-play friendly. I've never actually played a collectible card game or a trading card game that was so easy to get the cards for. I mean, me saying free-to-play, it's not shocking. I feel like in this game, every single person is free to play. You can purchase cosmetics and use stickers and special boards, but they really don't encourage you buying cards. The only thing is they have, with each expansion, they have like a starter deck basically that you can get, and I would recommend it just because, if you're starting a game, you want to play with good cards right off the bat. And this is such a great game that I would never recommend someone not to support it. That is to say, I think everyone should support it that enjoys the game. But I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how this game works in collecting cards. So, in the top of the screen right now, you see the green shard-looking thing. Those are shards. Those are what you use to craft cards. Now, jump over real quick. This is one of the two ways to craft cards that I would recommend. Now, I don't have every fizz, so to craft fizz or any other champion card, which you can play 6 of in a deck, up to 6 of, 3 of each card. You can only have 3 of any card in any deck. So they cost 3,000 shards or a champion wild card. Those wild cards allow you to craft the specific rarity attached to them. So common, rare, epic, and champion wild cards. Those are very easy to get, except for champion and epic, of course, but I would say champions aren't actually very difficult to get. So I have purchased a cosmetic bundle. It was the event for Spirit Blossom, and you may not be familiar if you're a new player joining us for Targon's expansion. But it was like an experience battle pass, basically. And it got a bunch of cosmetics, but no cards. It gave some wild cards, but nothing exclusive. So, as you can see, the little blacked out circles are what I don't have, and the things with the rings around them are what I do. So, I'm missing 1 Fizz, 1 Teemo, a couple Fioras, all of those, missing 1 Leona, missing 2 Maokai, all these, missing 2 Vi, all these, and all these. So, without spending any money on purchasing cards, I have nearly every card in the game. And I certainly have every important card in the game, except for a couple. But I could get them. I've just chosen not to. And that's where this guide comes in. So the reason that I have chosen not to craft this final Leona and that Maokai, because they're in very good decks. Those cards are good. Fiora, same thing. Is because the game has these reward wheels, and I know you'll be familiar with them for the most part, but what you need to know is that you have a chance of upgrading randomly. So let's say this epic wild card. I get this reward, there's like a 10% chance that it turns into a champion wild card, and suddenly you can get any champion, and those are supposed to be the hardest to get. Now, what you want to do is go on Mobilytics, Legends of Runeterra, Mobilytics, and you'll see a meta tier list. If you're interested in playing competitively, this is the way to go. You want to look online, look for Swimstream and Bruised by God, YouTubers like that. Or me if you feel so inclined. But their videos are higher quality. And look at what's best and decide what playstyle you like. This is like the planning phase. You go, okay, I like to play aggressive decks. And it looks like a Shadow Isles Bilgewater deck is fantastic right now. So I'm going to change my region to Bilgewater or Shadow Isles because it gives you only the cards from that region. Then you can start getting the commons, but you also get shards. So if you want to go faster to getting your first deck, I would recommend picking one. So let's say Shadow Isles. So you get the cards you want from Shadow Isles, you're getting shards, and then you craft the Bilgewater cards you want because there's plenty of champions in Bilgewater and you want Misfortune only, hypothetically. So you just get the epic wild card, you get the rare wild card and the champion wild cards. And then there's quests that give you experience towards this weekly vault, which unlocks on Thursdays every week. As you can see, it gives you +1 champion wild card. So you might have, if you play every day for a week, playing a mediocre deck that they give you, like a starter deck basically. You play, you do the quests, you get to this, at least 3 platinum chests, then you get a champion wild card. They give you champions off the bat, so it shouldn't be too bad. And I think they even have a starter deck that they give you that's not half bad at all. I think it's Ash or something. But here you go, and so you're playing with that, you get expedition tokens, you get shards, you get champion wild cards, etc. The expeditions, you don't have to win. It's not important to win. It's fun, and it's a good way to experience cards that you don't have if you're new. You know, you go in, unless you're like, I want to play draft every single time, this is my jam, don't use shards on this ever. If you're trying to collect all the cards as fast as possible, don't do it. Even if you could somehow guarantee 7 wins, which you can't, you can be amazing and get 7 wins a lot. But even then, honestly, I don't know that it's like worth the risk. And it can burn you out, honestly. So just do it weekly, get the epic capsule that comes with it, and I think like 200 shards guaranteed. Could be wrong, at least the epic capsule though. And that gives you an epic card or an epic wild card or something guaranteed. Then you build your first deck. Now you're good. You're good with a meta deck that you enjoy. You will get bored though. I mean, speaking from experience, I can't play one single deck over and over and over again. That's just, especially in this game where there's so many good options and so many different types of styles and stuff. So you have your Shadow Isles Bilgewater deck. Where do you go from there? Now, both of those regions do have control decks and they have one together. So you could easily go like, okay, now I want the opposite. I want a control deck. I'm just going to keep going with Shadow Isles. Or you switch over to Bilgewater and you get experience there, and there should be an EXP boost on the early stages for each of the regions, which is fantastic. That'll help you a lot to build at least one deck really quickly. And there is a factor of consideration to finish, like if you're doing Shadow Isles Bilgewater initially, trying to get that aggro deck, you could do all the Shadow Isles ones, and if you don't have the deck yet, you could switch over to Bilgewater with the EXP boost and run that, and you'll definitely get the deck by then. And perhaps other decks. But yeah, after your first week, you go to your second week, maybe you can't quite craft another deck yet. You can get close, you can play slightly inferior versions, like with only 2 of the champions that you need 3 of in the deck. And it's still good, but like not good enough for competitive play. So then another week passes. You just got to keep up with your daily runs, and this is the key. This region wheel is the key. Combining the weekly chest with this will get you at least 2 decks, probably within 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks. And that can be kind of tough, but honestly, this game, you skyrocket forward, because like, if, again, hypothetically, you're playing the aggro deck for Bilgewater Shadow Isles, and you want to play Keg Control, which is the Shadow Isles Bilgewater control deck. It plays the same cards, except for some of them, of course. So there's like some keys in it, like Vile Feast you play in both of them, and maybe there's a 3-drop that summons a Keg, a 2-drop that summons a Keg. You might play those in both. Honestly, like the crossover cards are how you survive. You want to focus on different play styles of decks that play the same region. So, okay, Shadow Isles has good aggro, it has good control. It's a great place to start. If you really want to, I would recommend Shadow Isles as your first one. Demacia is not bad either, because you start off with Garens, I think. Could be wrong, but I would definitely recommend running the Shadow Isles wheel first. I definitely wouldn't recommend, I know Targon just came out, and you're probably like in love with the cards because they're incredible and they're beautiful. But since you're new, they're all incredible and beautiful to you. They are to me too, even though I'm not new, but I digress. So Shadow Isles is the way to go first, definitely, in my opinion. Freljord, as you can see, Freljord's definitely the least that I've done, because they give you so many of the cards to start off with, and I don't know, I really easily got all the cards for Freljord already, so I'm kind of waiting it out on that one. I might finish it just to finish it, but yeah, definitely start with Shadow Isles. Do the daily quests, do an expedition every week, go Shadow Isles to start off with, unless there's a very specific deck that you want to build. In that case, just go with one of the regions and then craft from the other one. And then once you've finished that, if you want other regions that aren't the 2-region deck you got, you can just go with one of the other ones, because yeah. There's so many play styles in almost every region that you'll get to them all, you know? Don't worry, and just do the same thing all the time. Just be careful with, be careful with crafting though. That's important, because you will get, when you open your chests as well as getting the wild card, you get a chance to pull champions, you know? And when it's the weekly one, you get a chance to pull champions from any region. So if you're trying to get Lulu and you're going through the Ionia reward wheel, don't craft Lulu, because, like, yeah, how do I explain this? So you want to have as much chance to save your shards or your wild cards as possible. So what I did for when this new set came out is I had a ton of shards because it's a very generous game. And instead of using all my shards at once, I was like, I did the region wheel to get one Trundle from Freljord because I had every other champion except Trundle. So it was guaranteed from the champion capsule to give me that Trundle. And getting the Lulu, I got one of it. And with Leona, I have gotten two, and not both of them were from champion capsules. One was from, I think, the silver chest, or maybe just the normal capsule. I can't remember, but it was one of these really early ones. And then I got this one, this champion capsule. So I immediately got two Leonas because I crafted it every other champion. But yeah, the trick is just to be flexible. Be focused, but if you get other champions, then you can start thinking like, oh, are they good? Do I have the cards for them? Don't blow all your shards on just random decks. Focus them on the decks that you want to, and you'll be good to go. You'll get your decks, and you'll play like 3 or 4 of the decks you like, and you'll be going back and forth between those, and you'll have a lot of fun, and then suddenly you'll find yourself with 10 decks because they all intermingle really well, all the champions. There's tons of combos with them, like Diana Leona, Leona Aurelian Soul, Nocturne Diana. Like, there's so many variations. Oh, Twisted Fate's a fantastic card to start off with too. He can be put in pretty much anything, honestly. If you really needed to, he bolsters the power of any free-to-play player's decks. So, yeah. I hope you liked this. Let me know if I missed anything. I've tried to cover all the aspects. There's a lot of different ways to get stuff, to get cards. I would recommend being patient if you want to buy one of the starter decks, like Celestial Radiance. Go for it. Support them. They do a great job with this game. But I think it would be cooler for everybody to just be a little patient, and then you can spend some money on getting a cool board that plays cool music, and then yeah, you're both happy. You're supporting them and you're getting cool stuff. So thanks for watching, and I hope this helps. Meme decks, I forgot meme decks. Basically, if you want to be a meme player, but you get tired of playing the memes, because who wouldn't? Who wouldn't get tired of losing? Build your good deck first, and then the next one can be a meme deck, so that when you lose with your meme deck, you can feel better by beating someone with your good deck. That's my advice. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one, which will probably be a gameplay video or a tournament discussion of some sort. Peace. It is not actually this much. It's just because I have almost all the cards. Okay. Peace.